Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Authorhood podcast. Hope everything is really going very, very well with everyone. To grace our show, we have Monica Srani ma'am with us today, a poet who has two collections in her name already, namely Unseen and Letters with No Address. Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much for accepting our invite.
Hi, Ashita. It's a pleasure that I've got this opportunity to speak with you.
It's our pleasure to have you here, have you hosted. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, dear.
So, first things first, how would you best introduce yourself to the listeners?
Ashita, firmly believe that who you are is not what you do, but it's why you do it. So, in my case, I would say always I was a writer. My heart made me become a business person, and my soul made me become a tarot reader and coach. Writing always came very easily to me. But my profession became a business of corporate gifts because my beloved father, wanted me to join the family business.
Okay.
And so I would say that was a hard decision. My soul was yearning some answers. It needed some respite. And mystically, tarot reading came into my life, and it not only healed me. So I would say a bit of all of these is me. And, my core personality, I would say that I believe that love makes the world go round and kindness can square off anything. So for me, love is my oxygen and kindness is a very integral quality that always sparks for me. So yes, in a nutshell, this is me. And I would just say I'm someone who wants to do my bit in life and make a difference.
That was some beautiful introduction. Believe me, that love and kindness is actually there in your tone as well. It's right.
Oh my
there.
God.
I can feel it.
Yes. That's why you and I crossed paths, I guess.
Oh, rightly said.
Possibly.
No, that's so rightly said. Thank you. Thank you very much for saying this. So, has writing been in picture since always, or it is something that, just happened?
I would say that writing, found me and it made me find myself, From ever since I can remember, I loved writing and it came sort of naturally to me. And, I was an only child with amazing family and extended family. But at the same time, whenever I had the pen in my hand, I never felt lonely or felt I needed any company, when I had a pen in my hand. So in that sense, writing has been a part of me. But professional writing started over 20 years ago. So it's not something very new. I've been writing, I love cinema. So I've been writing on cinema. I used to write for magazines, publications, for, various other institutions. So yes, writing is not new. But poetry definitely is new.
Okay, poetry is new.
Yes.
Oh, it is a new thing. It's a newfound interest, and already you have two collections.
Yes.
Wow.
I'll tell you how this happened, Ashita.
Yes,
sometimes,
please.
you get a surprise from life so that you only can surprise yourself,
Huh.
I truly believe that, when something happens in your present and something comes in front of you, then just go ahead with courage and with full, gusto and with full hope. So that's what happened with me when I got an opportunity. I always wanted to be a published author, but I kept waiting कि मैं वो great book लिखूंगी. So many years went by, and because of various other interests. And then when I got this chance, I said, what? Let me start. And what I loved about poetry, Ashita, is that number one, I was surprised that it came so naturally to me. It was pretty, easy and effortless in that sense. And I found poetry very benevolent. There are no rules in poetry. There are no judgments. There are no, you have to do it this way, or, you have to do it this way. There are no rules. Poetry allows you to be yourself, and I thought that was something so very lovely about poetry, So that is why, when I did my first book, Unseen, I felt, okay, there's still some more poetry in me. So I went on to do another book, Letters with No Address. And yes, as you said, before I knew it, I was author of 2 poetry books in my humble way. A humble endeavor, but my endeavor, nevertheless,
Wow, you have used such a beautiful word here that poetry, it's benevolent. There are actually no rules. Either it rhymes or it doesn't. It's a poetry.
Yes, yes.
And it resonates
Such a-
very well.
Correct. So that's what I loved. I said, nobody can tell you that this is wrong and right. And how
Huh.
many things in life give us that luxury, Life is full of rights and wrongs.
True.
Poetry is there for you if you need it.
Yeah, this statement, this very statement, that it is there for you if you want it.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
पोएट्री के साथ एक और बात है that it eases. It can ease any mind, any body, any soul. Like आप उसे पढ़ रहे हो ना तो बस वो creeps in so well कि अच्छा लगता है, बस अच्छा लगने लगता है.
Exactly.
हाँ.
The truth that poetry can unveil, very few things can. Sometimes the ultimate truth you can discover via poetry,
By poetry, yes, true.
Yeah.
And again, it's a difficult task because under emotions है, अपनी feelings है, to get them in a few words. It's a difficult task, लेकिन शायद उसमें मजा आता है.
उसमें मजा आता है. और क्या है ना, though there are few words in that one poem, but each word can be a story, each word can be a revelation.
Exactly that. My second question was this only, that why poems, but you have already answered it.
Yeah.
Why poems, you've already explained it beautifully.
Oh, no, like I said, no, it just came into my life and I said, welcome,
Well, you actually welcomed it very well.
Exactly. And it gave me that first nudge, Ashita, that okay, now it has given me the sort of, I would say the impetus or the confidence to go ahead and write. And so now, okay, being a published author of 2 books, it's a very good feeling.
अच्छा लगता है.
Yeah.
Okay. So एक random question.
Yeah, sure.
That which remains unseen throughout our lives has to be accepted. You have to accept it and move along with it.
Yes.
How would a poet say that?
So I'll tell you, unseen was basically, some observations, just beneath the surface of life, which you may have seen, but you have not seen it, So in that scene, it's an unseen,
Unseen,
So
yes,
there are so many things that are waiting to catch our attention, Like, for instance, I tell you, my first poem was on the last day I lost my mother. And I had seen a look in my mom's eyes in that morning when I was leaving for work and I went to say bye to her. Something about that look kept haunting me, Maybe she was trying to tell me, don't go that day, So my first poem was that, why did I have to go that day? Why couldn't I just look at something that was lying there that I was seeing but not seeing, And I wish I had stayed back and got to spend those last few hours with her. So the entire book is about such things, like for instance, the garbage man. We always dodge a garbage van, but it is our garbage over there. And there the garbage man is laughing and doing his work and we are like, oh my God, So it's poems like this, which is, things which we are seeing but not seeing. That's what Unseen is about.
I have tears in my eyes and I have goosebumps all over, honestly. Something same happened with me, like my maternal uncle. The day he left, for the half of the day I was with him. He has been sick for a long time. I never went with him to a doctor, never accompanied him to any medical care, never. But that last day of his being on this planet, I was with him. I took him to the doctor. I did everything that was required.
Yeah. But can I tell you something? It's so strange that today only I read something very similar to what you said. Your uncle did this because he didn't want you to feel any guilt, He made you with him on the last day, so that you never felt that I didn't take my uncle, to the doctor. He did it so that you don't get any guilt. It's true that I had to read something today only, on the day of.
See how vibing it is. I'm having big goosebumps right on my face. And, I want to, this particular thing that we're talking about, I would like to end the conversation on this by saying that this was actually unseen. Thank you for conversing.
No, not of course, dear. Of course. Yeah.
Okay. So, while writing both of your books, ma'am, did you face the struggle when you knew what was to be written, but you found words not doing justice?
Ashita, I don't think I had a problem in finding the words, but I definitely did face the struggle. Okay, whatever's going on in my mind, will I be able to translate it in the same manner so that the readers, they understand what I'm trying to say? But then, I realized there's only so much I can do, and poetry is open to interpretation. So sometimes, what I write and what the other person understand may not always happen, but they both may be right, they both may be wrong. So simple thing to say is, let's try to meet through our rhyming lines. Let us try to find each other through these lines. So I hope that people get what I'm saying, or at least get something out of it, if not exactly what I was trying to say. So if there is, so that's what, I just said, as long as somewhere it connects and somewhere it resonates. But yes, that was the struggle in my mind, definitely.
See, as you say, how you write, like with what feeling or what perspective you are writing, it's not for the reader to get it. वही बात है कि वो resonate कर जाए उसी level पे कि हाँ author ने, writer ने इस हिसाब से लिखा है. But everyone who is reading has his her own perspective. तो भले चाहे नजरिया कुछ भी हो, भले चाहे उसको पढ़ के कुछ भी दिमाग में आए, but कहीं ना कहीं you resonate with the reader. That's why they read it, and that's why they are open to reading what you write.
Correct. Yeah. So, that's what one hopes.
Yes. Okay. So, how well do you think the illustrations in your book have done justice to what is written? Like, there's this 2 flowers illustration right up to the poem 2 dates.
Yes.
So, what does that explain?
This illustration, I thought, would be a good break in the middle of all the poems, and it will give a little nudge about the poem. So if you talk about the poem 2 dates, it's about a man waiting for his date at a coffee shop, and it's about a nature waiting for monsoon to come. So it's essentially about 2 dates. So that's what it is. So it is 2 stories. One guy is waiting for his date, and the nature is waiting for the monsoon. So it's just about 2 unions, and I thought that the 2 flowers in the illustration are the most noble and timeless forms of reflecting a union. So I wanted it to be simple but significant at the same time.
That particular illustration, why it hit me, because it's so simple yet very expressive. When you go through the poem and then you see the flowers, the 2 flowers there, so it's very intriguing.
Correct. To be humorous, pehle in our Bollywood also, when they used to show unions, they used to show 2 flowers. But that was not my thought when this happened. But it was just it's a very noble way of showing, that intimate way of showing a union.
No, so it's really very expressive and very understandable. Yes.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Okay. So one of your poems is titled as Wait.
In my first book, Unseen, no?
Unseen, yes. So what is your understanding of waiting?
I will actually put a generic experience to this. So this wait is about, which we have all seen at an airport, waiting at the luggage, conveyor belt, and waiting to spot their piece of luggage, So that luggage is a part of their identity. It is a part of their world, and the minute they spot the luggage, there is so much of, closure to the whole travel, and so much of respite that, yes, I have got it. And that is really extends to life, that we always want what is rightfully ours, So I just feel that, that small scene, unseen scene, where people are so tired, but at the same time so happy when they spot their luggage, or vice versa, Because mera jo hai, wo wahan hai. That's the part of my world, So it's all about waiting for what is rightfully yours. So that was my, thought behind that poem.
That's a very deep idea. Very, very deep idea, and so well explained. ये जो आपने लगेज के साथ उसको किया है ना, मतलब अरे बहुत ही खूबसूरत है, बहुत खूबसूरत.
Yeah, so sweet. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so poetry is all about trying to put a whole ocean in a 500 ml tumbler.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes. So, was it
Yes,
difficult for you to manage putting in a few words your ocean of emotions?
each word can convey so much and can be a world in itself, and it can unleash several oceans in that sense,
It
so
is.
every drop in that ocean is an ocean by itself.
Huh.
So yeah, it was a challenge in the sense, I'll tell you why I felt, my poems are all based on some element of reality,
Hmm.
real life people, real life experiences are what drive me. So when that was so vivid in my mind, I'm grateful to the divine that I could express it in a few words.
You were able to do that.
Yes, I think so. I mean,
Huh.
I did my best. The rest, though, we have to just put it out there, and then, we leave it for, the
For the
universe to show
person
it.
to yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a few days back, I was in words with another poet, and
Huh.
believe me, I've been hosting so many authors for a long
Yeah.
time now, but
Yeah.
the resonance I get with poets is
Yeah.
something else. Having this conversation actually takes me back to the time when in school I was holding this poetry book and I was, struggling to get the author's idea, the poet's idea. I was okay with what the teacher was explaining, but पोएट ने उसे किस मतलब से लिखा, उस चीज को जानना और ढूंढना was my quest.
Amazing.
That was something that I used to run behind. And now when I'm sitting in words with a poet, I feel as if my struggle is, getting resolved.
Yes.
क्या लग रहा है ना, my feel is that I read that poem, इसका मतलब शायद मैं ढूंढ रही थी और शायद आपसे बात करके मुझे उस पोएम का मतलब पता चल रहा है. It's so
That's
beautiful.
Wonderful. That's so wonderful. Also, Ashita, I can tell you, maybe you're getting these signals to possibly try writing the poetry yourself.
That was something I was looking forward to.
Maybe you will, and I will be doing your podcast maybe at that time.
Oh my goodness! That will be a great thing. Oh God.
Yeah, and also, Ashita, I think as long as a poem can want you to understand its meaning, even if you don't understand it, say, I want to know what that person is trying to say, then you've done your job. It's like that. It should at least leave you with that thought कि भाई, what is there,
I used to feel complete that way. Now, like you just beautifully gave an example of that 2 dates part. मतलब इतना अच्छा लग रहा है उसको जान के कि okay fine, ये मतलब था उसका, one waiting here on earth, one waiting there. So,
yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
So, it's Ashita, sometimes हमको answers तभी मिलते हैं जब हमको जरूरत होती है, at least I've noticed that in my life, when my soul is really seeking an answer for something, then something which maybe I have encountered long back will make sense to me, or I will meet someone who will give me that vibe, or that answer. So it's all pretty magical,
It is, no doubt.
Yeah.
If we sit and start talking about all of it, I guess our time on earth won't be enough.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Actually, enjoying my conversation with you, I'm forgetting about the podcast only,
मतलब conversation एकदम flow में. It's not like we're recording of.
Yes.
Okay. So another thing that I would like to ask is, if given a chance, let me frame the question again. You say every word in poetry is an ocean in itself.
Correct. Yes.
So if given a chance of getting, all those oceans or poems, I must say, converted into a novel, would you go ahead with that?
So for any writer, see, all of us, we are essentially communicators, Ashita. We want to communicate, which is why we are using these modes of self-expression, So I think anything that can expand its reach, its readership, its viewership will be so welcome. So I would of course love it if, the poems are considered, for a novel or anything that takes that journey ahead. It will be a blessing, I would say.
Now when you mastered the idea of resonating with the reader, resonating with the words, you'll turn out to be a great novelist, I'd say.
Okay. Thank you for the good wishes.
Already, okay. So, yes, now something about the second book of yours, Letters
Yeah,
with No Address.
yeah,
Its preface says that expressing oneself through letters.
yeah, yeah.
The book is about expressing oneself through letters. Why
Yes,
letters in today's time? I mean, it's such a digital world today.
yeah,
Why
yeah, yeah.
letters?
The one thing I think that letters have,
Hmm.
but which very few forms of communication have, is intimacy.
Oh, yes.
You're combining solitude with good company.
Huh.
It's a twain. So whenever you write letters, I think you're instantly, establishing a connect. Now my
Hmm.
for my book, Letters with No Address, the first section is addressed as dear, like dear mediocrity, dear world map. So
Hmm.
immediately you're getting a personal touch into whatever you're writing. So you're
Huh.
then the second part of the book is to whomsoever it may concern. That is more formal letters. So in that sense, that is to topics that which resonate with many people. It will be
Hmm.
like, for instance, there is one on child labor. There is one on a funeral, which is called The Fire, which is a story based on my own father's funeral. Then there is something about nature changing because of so much violence and bloodshed. The third part is called PS, which is at the end of the letter you write PS. So those are
Hmm.
small things, those afterthoughts that matter. And
Hmm.
then I have thank you notes where I have written letters to my mother and father, but it may not only be limited to them, it could be for all our mothers and fathers. So
Hmm.
it has all those elements which only letters can carry. I think there's a lot of significance in letters, and I wish it was not such a forgotten art. It is such a beautiful, intimate way to express yourself. So I would say it all boils down to self expression. Now, for instance, one letter is to a compliment. we
Hmm.
we would never write a letter to a compliment, right? But in that letter, I've written about all the beautiful things that can happen if you give a compliment. So essentially reminding yourself that
Hmm.
this is what a compliment can do. Or then there is a letter to the seven sins. In that, I've tried to convey what is it that make people do sins, what is it that makes them do pride or gluttony or
Hmm.
something like that. So I think there are many layers when you write a letter which has no address. And as I've written in my preface that these letters will remain unsent, but
Hmm.
what they can do is to make you understand the beauty and reflect on life and the complexities of life. So I thought the letters was a nice intimate way of doing it.
You said, why would you write a letter to a compliment?
Yeah.
I'd sum up in one line. All these addresses, they actually are the significant ones, and
Yes,
we just
exactly.
don't understand. We just don't see them.
या अगर मैं
हाँ.
mediocrity को dear mediocrity बात कर रही हूँ तो मैं उसको
हाँ.
I can talk to mediocrity in the most personal fashion.
Personal fashion, yes.
When you just say
Exactly.
dear mediocrity, you
Hmm.
are talking to them right in their face. So
बिल्कुल
yes, there are
बिल्कुल.
letters to feelings and emotions which may or may not resonate with people, but like I said, it is my language, so
हाँ.
let's hope it's good.
कि अभी ऐसा हो गया, people have started looking down at their feelings. वो ऐसा होता है कि हाँ, कहीं ना कहीं suppress हो जाती हैं, but now they're going to consider them.
Correct. We
हाँ.
don't allow ourselves, like, I don't never understood why people feel apologetic about crying.
Hmm.
Crying is like laughing. You never tell somebody, why are you laughing, right? Like, I have a son, I would never tell him, boys don't cry. No, you must, if you're feeling it, because we don't express ourselves, because we don't share our feelings,
हाँ.
we end up having mental and physical problems. It manifests in some way in ourselves. So why are we not able to express us? Why are we not able to just say it the way it is? For instance, there's a poem I've written that says, speak your love. We don't tell people how much we love them until sometimes it's possibly even late. So
Hmm.
tell people you love them. Don't be hesitant. Don't be miserly. Don't play games. So I just think it all boils down to expression and to bringing out your innermost feelings.
Either this way or that way.
Yeah.
It's about expressing, it's about telling. how much
Exactly.
you love anyone. You know, we do it when we are angry with someone. You know, जब हमें गुस्सा आता है ना, हम तब बड़े अच्छे से उसको बता देते हैं, खूब एक्सप्रेस कर देते हैं. But when it comes to
हाँ,
love, I don't know why it's like people
yeah.
don't say it, people don't share it, people don't know how much it is there. ये नहीं बताते, गुस्सा बताते हैं.
हाँ, सही
हाँ.
बात है. I love expressing my, so sometimes people wonder, but then, I'm like, I've always had one mantra, Ashita, that if you have something bad to say, think twice. If you have
हाँ.
something good to say, don't think twice.
Don't
It's
think.
like that.
हाँ.
It's a simple thing, बोल दो.
बिल्कुल.
Actually, this comes up with another, even that I have, written in my book, about one way, like a hurtful word when it is said, it's a one way, क्योंकि जो damage उसको करना होता है ना, वो कर लेता है.
कर, बिल्कुल,
It's a one way thing, So think twice, because that word may have had that effect will never go. People don't forget the words that hurt, So ironically, yes, even that's come through in Letters with No Address.
Wow, amazing. And I would also like to address that no one asks us, or neither we tell anyone why we are happy, why we are laughing. जब वो नहीं बताना, तो why is it always with the crying that you have to tell hundreds of people around कि हम इसीलिए रो रहे हैं. And actually yes, कोई हंसता होगा ना, कोई खुश होगा तो कोई नहीं पूछेगा why you are happy, but हाँ, रो रहे हैं, क्या हो गया, क्यों हो गया, अरे मत रो. No one says मत हंसो.
Apologetic होते हैं रोने के लिए, people don't show their tears, and I think it's okay. It's a therapeutic experience. See, all this is again boiling down to what we spoke earlier, bottling in. We bottle in. So that's why I'm saying that if you express yourself by words, that's why they say, art is therapeutic, so many things are therapeutic, if you can communicate what's going on in you, that takes away the burden from yourself, and you just throw it away to the universe for, some balm to appear through some way or the other, It's
anyway,
like that.
That's the entity who's going to take care of everything. So
Yes,
rightly you said it very
exactly.
right. Throwing it away to the universe, yes, that's the best idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, out of the 3 dimensions of love that you have beautifully mentioned in your book, so the letter to dear love, then there is arranged. So there's this one line, love meant simple inquiries, and I felt nothing more appropriate.
Yes.
And that's a very bold statement to make. Very bold line to keep in a poem. So how?
Yeah. You know what? So there are three dimensions of love. One is we have arranged love, and we have a lot of that in India, where you have arranged marriages. So the second love I showed was love unrequited. We've all faced unrequited love, we love someone and they don't love us back. And the third is love undestined, which many people go through, where they love someone who they can't have. So love arranged is essentially about, where you do get into the marital relationship without being conventionally loved, in love. But when I'm asking someone, what time will you return home? That is also love, That is a love that is making you ask. So at the end of your journey of the marital, when you start caring, why would you otherwise ask someone, when will you come back home? Like, whether it's our mothers who ask us, or my husband will ask, or whatever, what time will you come home, is my way of saying, I care about you and I want to know you'll come back safely, soundly, So so that poem was about a marital journey of how slowly, that assumes that's a kind of love too, an arranged love, which, is actually very significant at the end of the day, because you're, sharing so many things with each other, and in the end of the life's journey, you say, this was a part of love. So I just feel simple inquiries. Like today, if your, mother tells you, why have you not called me today? That is love. Now I remember my mother used to call me 5 times a day, because I'm an only child, And then when she passed away and my parents passed away, I'm like, whenever I used to travel abroad, I had to always tell them I've reached, And now I didn't have anybody to tell I have reached. So simplest things signify love. Simplest things, Yeah.
I'm so happy that this podcast isn't a video podcast one. It's not a video format. Why? Let me tell you, because every now and then I am expressing here with my mouth wide open. Okay, I'm like, wow, oh my god, ऐसे ये वो, मतलब वो सारे expressions मेरे face पर, और अगर video में catch हो रहे होते, you know, people would have named me stupid. मतलब मैं जिस
You're
तरह अभी
so kind. You're so sweet, Ashita. So kind of you, really.
every
Really.
line that you are saying, every statement that you are making is making so much sense to me. It's so meaningful.
That's why, you know, when our parents call us, you know, we should really say thank you, because that's the ultimate form of love, you know, a phone
And-
call or a simple gesture. Yeah, that's what I tried to convey in that.
In the very beginning of the conversation, we had said there must be some energy, some vibe that brought us here
Yeah.
together. We are talking, we are connecting, and believe me,
Yeah.
the examples that you're giving na, abhi ye parents ko call wala, even I keep out from house like 15 se 20 din, a month. And my parents are always after me, after my life, that why don't you call? Why don't you take up call when we are calling? And you know, हो गया, वो resonate हो गया यहाँ पर भी. Thank you.
और वो इतना unconditional love है, you know, for most of us. It's such a lovely unconditional love, you know. Yeah.
और ये पता है, आपने एग्जाम्पल भी दिया ना, इट्स लाइक ओके, मेरे लिए दिया है. जैसे you knew this one, as if it's done on purpose, मुझे समझाने के लिए कि ओके अशिता, you know, start considering it.
You know, Ashita, when I have my tarot sessions, no, I always say that, you know, tarot reading is like, you know, one of the ways in which if you seek an answer, no, the universe will give it to you. It is just one of the ways. So I'm telling you, if you seek an answer, you will find it. Like, you know, because you are a seeker, I can sense that you are a spiritual seeker. That's why, you know, you are getting some answers out of our conversation. So if you're going to seek something, you will get the answer from somewhere or the other. That's been my firm belief, you know, from the very beginning, you know. And actually, you know, if you don't mind, I want to just tell you like the same thing. Like I have this poem called The Picture, you know, in my book, which is about a picture of which I got inspiration from a picture of Sai Baba. I always feel that if I've done something wrong, that picture's looking at me not so happily. If I do something right, look at me right. If I hurt someone, so it's our conscience, you know. So you get the answers if you seek. No, it's your, you know, like I say, is it you, divine, or is it my conscience in disguise? You know, that is a real life thing. I honestly feel that, you know, is he angry today because I was rude to somebody? You know,
believe me or not, agar possible hota na to just get into the laptop and they're hugging you. Oh goodness, मतलब ये इतना similar है. अभी जैसे मेरे like गुरुजी, I look at him at times and मुझे पता होता है कि जैसे आज थोड़ा सा या तो मैंने किसी से रूडली बात की है या फिर कुछ मेरा एक्शन ठीक नहीं था. I know about it. Everyone knows. वो बस ये है कि हम उसको acknowledge नहीं करते हैं. We know about it. देखो सामने ऐसा लगता है गुरुजी is not, you know, happy. वो ठीक से देख ही नहीं रहा है. वो आपकी तरफ ठीक से नहीं देख रहे. वो जिस तरह रोज देखते हैं आज वो वैसे नहीं देख रहे हैं. It just actually happens
because you are seeking it. You are a, you know, seeker. You want to improve. You are on this journey of self improvement. इसीलिए ये होता है. It doesn't happen to everyone. I can tell you that.
Oh my God, I have a title. A
yes.
Seeker. Wow.
Good title, huh?
So obviously it is, ma'am. This is the best one. Seeker.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
It is coming to me from you. I am blessed in a way.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's continue. The whole idea of letters being sent without address is one unique creation in itself, as I, you know, acknowledged.
Yeah.
How do you expect the readers to understand the significance of everything that's looked at as insignificant?
So, you know, let me give you an example from, you know, there is a poem, in fact, in the book called Significantly Insignificant. For instance, today, when you look at a world map, ना, वो इतनी छोटी सी चीज है. अगर आप यूनिवर्स के तरफ से देखो, the world is a very, very, you know, minute thing. और उसके अंदर है हम, जो और भी minute हैं, you know. And so, there's so much of fighting that goes on for borders, for, I want this land to be mine, I want this to be mine. The countries are fighting, people are fighting. It is significant, but it is insignificantly significant. So we are really something very minuscule, and yet we carry egos, we carry so many things. So to give this was just an example I was telling you. This is what the whole thing is about, being significantly. So if people can get the nuances, it's fine. If they cannot and they can get something out of it, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, that's also fine.
We are after insignificance. If we see the whole picture, our lives, they're running behind insignificance. Or we know it. We know it very well that we are not, जो हमारी दौड़ है, that is not very fruitful. That's not going to be fruitful. But because we don't see the significant part, we miss on to a lot.
Correct. And also see, Ashita, that's why today, like, this word called spirituality has assumed so much significance, because, spirituality is what? It's acknowledging that there is a higher power that governs us. It is above, all these sensory experiences and all. We are all a part of a greater whole, So spirituality wants you to dig deeper into your soul, and to just surrender to the process, So that's why so many people are now wanting to find meaning,
Meanings, yes.
Sometimes, like I say, you get spirituality from the most unexpected quarters, like I always find a lot of spirituality in my domestic helps, because wo aate hai in such tough circumstances, and they yet come and they do their job, whether it's our bai or whatever. They are meant to, and we will yell at them if they come late or whatever. But that is also spirituality, that you move ahead, with your, irrespective of your circumstances, and you move ahead and you move on with life, So you don't have to be a great scholar to understand spirituality. It can be something that is just there in your everyday practices, and in your everyday reactions.
It's just about looking carefully. Yes, looking carefully at things.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay. So, would you second if I say that these letters with no address actually remain unsent? Like, no, it's not like you would second or not. That's the whole idea. They are never going to reach the address. Never.
Yeah. But like they will reach those words will reach where they have to, for sure.
Where they have to, yes.
They will reach. उनकी जो जहाँ एड्रेस नहीं होता है ना, वहाँ यूनिवर्स पहुंचा देता है. I know I'm using the word universe a lot, but that is right now I'm in that space of my life, where so I do feel that the universe will deliver the address. I mean the letters or the words where they have to. Kabhi na kabhi, someone will open that book and find an answer. Not just my book, any book, In fact, you can even get it from a magazine, So I'm saying, whenever there is no address, the universe's job gets harder, but it happens. It reaches where it has to. It definitely does.
You say that you're using the word universe a lot, but believe me, that's the only entity that right now we can depend the most on.
Yes, absolutely.
For anything.
Absolutely.
Yes?
Yeah.
Be it seeking a blessing, be it any kind of dependency, I'd say. That's the only entity we can rely on for anything.
Yes, so true. This is something so nice to hear from such a young person like you, Really, very nice. Yeah.
Ma'am, we all have our shares of experiences in life.
Yeah, true.
So be it a young mind or one who has experienced life in all forms, I would say that बस उससे सीखने की देरी होती है कि आपने क्या सीखा उससे.
Correct. Absolutely.
One very subtle question, particularly being a poet, did that bring any change in you?
I would say, like I had mentioned a little earlier, like this I always remember this quote of Plato who had said, poetry is nearer to the vital truth than history is, I've never been shy of expressing my emotions. So I won't say that there was any great change in me after writing poetry, but it definitely introduced me to an unexplored side of myself. I would not say unexplored, but seldom explored side of myself. I don't get shy of emotions at all. I don't. I am okay with expressing, poems were the perfect forum. So I'm truly grateful that it came my way.
Wow. Again, you didn't choose poems, they choose you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
they have made their way to you.
Exactly. Yeah, I would say that.
Huh.
Though mine are not very, mine are, like I said, very true to life. So it's a different kind of poetry. But yes, my poetry, my way. This is my way.
Whatever you say about your writing, whatever it is, but believe me, they have the deepest meaning in them. And poem आपने लिख दिया, आपने अपना part, you have done it. लेकिन
Yes.
I say that more than the author, it's for the readers.
Yes, it's true.
ऐसा भी होगा ना, you would forget what you have written. शायद अब से और 1 साल बाद आप किसी पॉडकास्ट में होंगे and someone be asking you about any of your poem, आपको शायद नहीं याद आएगा.
Possibly, yeah.
The reader जिसने शायद उसको पता नहीं कितने साल पहले भी पढ़ा होगा ना, उसको जो पोएम उसके साथ रेजोनेट कर गई होगी, वो उसको याद रखेगा, वो जीवन भर उसको याद रखेगा.
Ashita, I just feel there are so many people doing so many beautiful things in life, making such a difference. I just feel life is so precious. मुझे कुछ थोड़ा सा करना है that can I will not say help, but support someone in their journey, that really means a lot to me and adds a lot of meaning in my life. So even if you, tarot reading of course is all about that, but even through writing, if any point of time it provides some answer or some healing to someone, that will be something that will give me the maximum happiness, more than being a bestseller, more than being, of course everyone wants to be an author of a best-selling book, but if tomorrow someone comes and tells me that we read this and this helped me, it's something that will give me the maximum happiness, if you really ask me.
I can again sense it in your tone, because the way you say that I have to do, that actually makes you crave for being a little more closer to being a human. आप जो भी कर रही हैं, आप if you're writing poetry, if you're doing the tarot reading, you're doing it for it's for yourself. अपने लिए तो वो है ही.
Of course for myself. I will not deny. Of course for myself.
Yes,
yeah.
अपने लिए तो है ही, लेकिन again a lot of other people are getting benefited out of it. तो वो भी तो खुशी आपके लिए ही है ना. That is again a happiness to you.
Yeah, and also Ashita, I really feel that sometimes you are chosen by the divine to be the instrument to give that information, So suppose tomorrow, if I've said something in a tarot reading that has helped someone, or I've said something in a poem, I truly believe I'm chosen by a much higher power. That is, I accept with full humility, that I'm Zariya hai. Even my mother told me when we were small, that if you're giving to someone, don't feel that you are, doing something great. Number one, you are in that position to do it. You are chosen by a higher power to do it. So you don't feel you're doing it. It was in that other person's destiny and you are just the instrument. So never have that ego, ke maine iske liye ye ki. No, you are the chosen one. Be happy and grateful for that. That you are in the position to do it. Sometimes when you do something for someone, what happens you get is far more significant than what you're giving to the other person. I really honestly believe that.
Right, बिल्कुल. But आप इस तरह बोल रही हैं ना मैम, मेरे को सच में ऐसा लग रहा है as if it is me myself talking. मतलब
oh, that's amazing.
पता मैं बहुत छोटी हूँ आपसे, but ऐसा लग रहा है ना सच में, मतलब मुझे ये बोलते हुए भी अच्छा लग रहा है, मतलब I feel as if I am myself talking. अभी जैसे आपने ये वाली बात आपने बोला ना कि it's the divine that is making you do it. It's not you who does. Just yesterday, it was Tuesday, एंड दिस दिस रूटीन दैट आई फॉलो कि हाँ ठीक है, आप हनुमान चालीसा पढ़नी है ट्यूसडे।
Yeah.
कल पूरा दिन निकल गया, आई वाज क्वाइट ऑक्यूपाइड द होल डे।
Yeah.
रात में 11 बजे आई डिड दैट।
Uh-huh.
11 बजे। एंड
Yeah.
आई एम नॉट बोस्टिंग अबाउट इट और एनीथिंग। मैंने वहां बैठ के आई थैंक्ड बजरंग बली कि ठीक है, यू मेड मी डू इट। आज ही के दिन
Yeah.
में आपने मुझसे ये करवा
Amazing.
दिया, मुझे करना था एंड आपने
हाँ.
करवा दिया।
Correct. Correct.
तो
Absolutely.
हाँ,
Yeah.
वो हो सकता था दिन चला जाता पूरा, 12 बज जाती, मैं सो जाती, अगले दिन उठती और फिर रिग्रेट रहता, अरे यार हुआ नहीं, करा नहीं। बट इट वाज दैट डिवाइन पार्ट, इट मेड मी डू इट कि हाँ आओ बैठो करो। मैं तो अपना
Correct.
दिन निकाल ही रही थी, वाकई में अपना पूरा दिन निकाल ही रही थी, कभी कुछ काम कभी कुछ काम, किसी से कॉल, किसी का मैसेज, कोई मीटिंग,
Yeah.
एवरीथिंग, दिन निकल रहा
Yes.
था।
Absolutely.
बट
Yeah.
वो
Yeah.
रात में 11 बजे भी आई वेंट, सैट देयर, पढ़ा मैंने, एंड देयर वाज नथिंग बट थैंकिंग हिम कि ओके फाइन, यू कॉल्ड मी, यू मेड मी डू इट।
Amazing. Amazing. वही तो है ना gratitude. बोलते हैं ना attitude of gratitude. अभी ये word जो
हाँ,
gratitude इतना हम सुनते हैं,
बहुत ज्यादा।
लेकिन
हाँ
उस चीज में जो ब्यूटी है ना, वो आपको it can make you feel like a king, you know, if you just sit and write down what all we have in our lives, no, we're like, oh my God, even after all this, we are cribbing half the time, you know. So gratitude is the very fact that you give gratitude to Hanuman ji for saying the Hanuman Chalisa. I mean, you're very blessed that even that you are attributing, you know. So imagine if such a small thing there's so much to be grateful for. I'm just saying, even to the poorest person, there is still, you know, so much to be grateful for.
Grateful
Today,
for,
if
yes.
my maid comes and she is, you know, not as rich, as moneyed as I am, but she's possibly much more fitter than I am. So there is always something to be grateful for.
Exactly.
You know, it's just we have to have that attitude in us.
So please, the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to work in a way that I can have you near me, make you stay near me, touch
Oh,
me,
God.
मतलब ऐसे है ना,
Ashita, you are too cute.
क्योंकि conversation it hits so well, जैसे आपने बोला seeker,
Yeah.
शायद ऐसा है that I am into seeking, तो मुझे आपसे बात करके ऐसा लग रहा है कि हाँ, this is what I go through every day.
That is your, you know, goodness, that you are, you know, humble enough to be a seeker. You know, there is never any end to seeking, understanding, learning, and that's a wonderful thing that you are seeking. You just see how much, how enriching your life will be if at this age only you are feeling like this. I think you'll have a very enriching life ahead. Really.
You keep on blessing, and I will have fun.
Yeah, great, super. Yeah.
So next will be that, do you read the reviews, and how well do they resonate with what exactly you have tried to express in your poems?
Yeah, of course. See, I do read reviews because someone's, you know, taken the time and effort to write a review. I will not say that I always resonate exactly with what they say, but I always appreciate the perspective that is put in it. And as long as they're not indifferent, I'm okay. कोई ना कोई अगर ठीक है, it's not good, it's fine. You have your perspective, it's fine. But if it leaves you unmoved, any emotion, then I would say that is something to not be. But someone will like, some will not like. You know, it's okay. That's fine. I accept that. As long as there's no indifference. So far I've been happy with the reviews. I mean, people have been very kind and very gracious. So it's been good. It's been good.
And I would like to ask if there's any review that hit you the most, कि हाँ वो सबसे, you know, the most craziest, and it is there with you always.
I just feel that you know, I saw so many reviews in which people were actually, especially this book is new, but in the first book where they said they remembered so many poems and the nuances that came from it. So I just really felt nice that people recalled so much from the, you know, and it resonated with them. So I think the fact that people named so many poems and the essence behind it, that was those reviews were very nice for me to read.
Nice and fulfilling. Yes, fulfilling.
So far, people have been very, kind.
With the
So,
reviews. Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Now, one more thing.
Yeah.
The first and the last poems in your book, Unseen,
Yeah.
though all of the poems they have the personal touch,
Yeah.
they are your own experiences, but
Yeah.
the first poem, your mother's passing away, and then the last poem, your father's passing away.
Yeah.
They are quite more than personal.
Yeah.
बहुत हिम्मत लगी होगी उसको लिखने में भी. So, what made you write them in a way कि मतलब पहला poem वो और book का आखिरी poem वो? Why like that?
Like I told you about my mom's, that look in her eyes, Unseen saw its birth due to that. So I just wanted the first my mother and the last my father. So they are like kind of hugging the book, and in between there are all my emotions. So I'm a very proud daughter. My father has been my hero. So the last poem celebrated everything that he did, and the first one spoke about the regret, because I still have that regret of not staying near my mother when she passed away. But everything I do for them, though I have, of course, my husband, my son, they're all, but I'm just saying that they are my loves right now. But everything I do, even though my parents are not there, I do for them. So I knew that my first book has to begin and end with them. I feel them all the time. I feel their guidance all the time. So they had to be in my first book, and they are there in my second book also, where I've written a letter to my mom and my dad. So I am a very proud daughter. I have no qualms about saying that. Yeah.
We say that someone is a beautiful person in and out. ऐसे करके जो हम बोलते हैं, that statement is for you. A beautiful person in and out.
You are truly making my day today, really. Really.
The way you have made mine, I cannot put it in words.
No. So sweet, Ashita. So sweet.
एक होता है ना कि हमें we have to have a conversation, लेकिन ये उससे बहुत आगे निकल गया.
Yeah.
बहुत आगे निकल गया.
God is divine grace, really.
It is. Divine. It absolutely is.
Yes.
Okay. After this very, very, very beautiful conversation, what will be that one bonus statement for the listeners?
So listeners who have been so kind enough, they've heard it so far. I can just give my few humble thoughts, and I think it should be that we should stress on creating a life that feels good from inside, and not just looks good, then we'll be on the right path, and I think people should not look very far to find something unique. The most unique, magical, exciting thing is what you see in the mirror. It sounds like a cliche, but my father used to always tell me that there will be always someone who's better than you, or someone not as good as you, but there will be no one like you. So I want to tell every listener that express yourself authentically, the way you really are, because only you can give to the world something that no one else can. So please celebrate your uniqueness, and that's when you will make a difference. So that's just my humble few thoughts for my lovely listeners.
Humble, beautiful, खूबसूरत. Oh my God. I asked you in the podcast does this ever happen कि आप कुछ लिखना चाह रही हैं and you don't get the words, you feel the words are not doing justice. I am into that situation right now.
I'm telling you, you're quite a writer. The way you've conducted this whole, I'm sure everyone will notice that there is a lot of creativity in your questioning also. So my dear, there is a lot to be happy about.
This is one big compliment that I'm getting from you. I will take it as a compliment, but again,
please do.
Yeah, but on a higher level, if I see, I am able to see everything right in front of me कि हाँ मैं ये हूँ और शायद मुझे मेरे ही बारे में बता दिया गया है अभी. बहुत अच्छा, बहुत ही easy conversation I had with.
Thank you so much. It's absolutely mutual. I had sensed it the minute we started talking that This was going to be something where even I could be myself, you know. It's also it's a two-way process, you know. Even I should have that luxury that I can be myself, you know.
Obviously, I was presenting myself to you with questions, and the way you have answered is what you are. What you are, what you think.
Take it or leave it, but then that is, you know, that is the way I am, and I accept it. I think the most important thing, Ashita, which I also just came into my mind, is that we should really endeavor to do something that makes us happy at a soul level. If we are happy, we will be able to spread that happiness. So let's all, you know, endeavor to, you know, do something that makes us happy so that we can spread that shine.
True that. Thank you so very much for having this conversation, for accepting the invite. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Ashita, for this opportunity and for this lovely time. And you have my best wishes always, always.
Sending you the very best. And I am just looking forward to having poems coming in. आती रहनी चाहिए आपसे, the very deep, meaningful words that you say, and the most, the way you weave them. बहुत अच्छा. Normal conversation में भी, the way you say things, बहुत बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत खूबसूरत है.
Thank you, Ashita. Thank you for your kind words. God bless. God bless.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.